Thank you very much, Kevin, and thank you for being here. Great to be in this event again, and I think that's the best marine money event. No insult to the New York guys, but I always enjoy to come back in Singapore, and it's great to be back here in person as it used to be. So, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about Breakwave Advisors, which is a firm that we founded in 2017. It's been around for 5 years now. And the idea behind the company was basically to bring ETFs that are involved in the shipping market. And don't worry if you don't know what an ETF is, that's what the presentation is about. So we started with one product, then last year we created another one, and we have a third one in the pipeline. We try to support these funds with research and insights, views and opinions about shipping and about the commodity markets, and it's not only ours, it's across the industry, and it's open to everyone for free to read and debate and form their own opinion about what they think about the shipping market. What we basically offer is the product to act on that. So as I said, the first product we introduced in 2018 actually was BDRY, which is a fund that is focused on the dry bulk market. It invests in freight futures, short-term freight futures. So basically you track the spot market as close as you can. This year, the average assets under management have been around 60 million, and we trade quite a bit, about $4 million a day. The product is listed in New York, in the New York Stock Exchange, and as I said before, it has been around since 2018. And I will talk a little bit about what an ETF does and what it is. The second product was BSEA, which is the one we're going to talk about today, and it's a fund that's focused on the decarbonization theme. It's been around for about a year. It invests in stocks, unlike BDRY that invests in futures. So it buys and holds basically a basket of stocks. Currently, there are about 43 names in the fund, and 80% of the fund is concentrated in 20 names. So it's quite concentrated in the exposure. Again, it's listed in New York, and it's around for a year now. And then we have another fund that's going to be coming soon, and it will be focusing on the tanker market, and hopefully it will be up and running in the next couple of months. So ETFs, and I think that's a theme that is not very popular yet in Asia, although in terms of the size of the market, actually the market has doubled since 2019. Obviously, everything is measured from 2019 given the pandemic. But today, there were about 100 billion of AUM in the Asia-Pacific region. So the market is growing. Obviously, in the US, the market is huge. It's approaching $5 trillion. So what are the ETFs? Basically, this is short for exchange-traded funds. And this is a type of security that holds usually stocks in a basket, but allows investors to participate in a theme by buying the ETF like they buy every other stock. At the end of the day, you're not really, you're focused on a specific theme, you're not buying a specific stock. So the idea is to find interesting themes, put together a basket of stocks, package it, and list it in the stock market. This way, every investor can buy from one share to thousands or millions of shares, depending on what kind of investor it is. Usually retail, especially in Europe and the US, is very interested in these products, but institutional investors have been more and more participating in these markets. So why this is attractive? First of all, you avoid being invested in one stock because at the end of the day, maybe you get the theme right, but you might get hit or be wrong, for example, on the management side or on something specific that happens on the company. So this way, you avoid basically the single stock risk. Second, a lot of people cannot invest in every market, so that's an easy way to get global exposure without having to trade in different markets or trying to find the securities that you like in smaller and difficult to access markets. And third, there is some tax efficiency. Again, it depends on what jurisdiction you are, but especially in the US, there is a big tax advantage in investing in ETFs rather than single stocks. So talking about a little bit about BC here and the basic concept behind BC. So it is an exchange-traded fund, as I said. It's listed in the New York Stock Exchange. And the idea is to give exposure to investors to the decarbonization theme. So we heard a lot about decarbonization over the years. I believe that most people agree that that's going to be the trend over the next 10 or 15 years. But for the simple investor, how do I take advantage of that? What can I do in order to basically make money out of that? So the idea is like, can we identify stocks that are exposed to the decarbonization theme, put them in this basket, which is a dynamically adapted basket. So we change every quarter the composition of the basket. So every investor have access basically to this theme. Again, I don't want to repeat that. Probably most of people know what decarbonization is and how important it is for the industry. But these are the things that we look and we try to capitalize on in order to provide this product. And basically, we partner with Marine Money and another company called C-Switch in order to create and manage this index. Basically, the index is the portfolio of the companies that BC is holding. So as I said before, every quarter we sit down and we decide which companies should leave the index or be included in the index, depending on what kind of exposure they have on the decarbonization theme. So all this is great, but as I say, a picture tells 1,000 words. So I want to show you a short video which basically summarizes what we discussed and what BC basically does. Can we get more sound? Let me go back. Well, I guess we won't be able to hear it.
Thomas has invested in different types of funds in the past and has been very successful. He likes exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, because they allow him to invest in a theme without having to analyze individual companies. Now he's looking to do more with his money. He wants to have a tangible impact on the world, as well as make money. Thomas begins to research investment opportunities to meet his criteria, and comes across one that really excites him: the maritime industry. Did you know that international shipping is responsible for 90% of global trade and moves over 11 billion tons of goods each year? Amazing. But shipping isn't clean. The cost of enabling global trade is that the industry accounts for approximately 2.5% of global CO2 emissions. If it was a country, shipping would be the sixth largest emitter of CO2 in the world. But things are changing. International regulators and clients are demanding that shipping companies become carbon neutral by 2050. Those shipping companies that don't comply risk being unable to conduct business. That means tens of thousands of ships will need to be replaced or modified to meet these new regulatory requirements. Herein lies the opportunity. There is a $3.4 trillion market for companies who can provide the clean tech solutions to help shipping companies meet their new regulatory demands. So how does Thomas get in on this huge opportunity? Enter MMDI. MMDI is an index tracking the companies that can provide the clean tech solutions the industry needs to meet its decarbonization goals. Thomas wants to invest in funds that tracks the index and comes across BC, an ETF associated with the MMDI. Thomas is thrilled. He buys BC, knowing that he has invested in a market that is ready for growth and has the potential to make a significant positive impact on the ocean, something that he and his kids love the most.
So yeah, that was basically the summary of what we discussed. At the end of the day, you're investing in a theme, the decarbonization theme, and the idea behind MMDI, which stands for Marine Money Decarbonization Index, is to identify basically the companies that are going to be the leaders in the space. And you don't know from now which is going to be, and that's why it's a dynamically adapted index. But at the end of the day, that's something that over the next 10 or 15 years is a long-term investment in decarbonization. It is a growth industry, so this is not your typical shipping industry. It's not cyclical. Obviously, we're talking about technology here. It's not about rates and supply and demand. It is difficult to access. A lot of these companies are in many different countries, mainly Norway, but a lot of different countries, mostly in Europe, not so much in Asia. And obviously, if you see the partners who are together putting this index, and as I said, Marine Money is one of them, there is significant experience behind the knowledge and identifying the right companies for the index. And as I said, we try to support basically these protocols with research and provide the insights from across the industry for everyone to find it. It's all free. And all this information you can find on our website, basically, with a lot more about the MMDI and about BSEA. That's all I had. Thank you very much.